respond to that. But there'll be Robin from the Heart Foundation, Janine from Asthma Australia, and Meg from Heart Foundation, who's a dietitian as well, as a part of the conversation. So it should be great. Should be fun. All right, so let's get ready, everyone. Hi, Maureen and Gary. Check your messages and then pop your phone down. Hi, Verna. Everybody feeling well? Yeah? Good. All right, let me just, okay, check that. All right, so let's come up to standing, shall we? Good. So remember, we always want to keep our feet about hip width distance apart, so feet are parallel. Just give your toes a little bit of a wriggle in your shoes. Good. And then just roll the feet sort of onto the outside of the feet and then a little bit onto the inside of the feet, and do that a few times. So rolling out, rolling in, just make sure it feels comfortable for your feet and your ankles and your knees. Good. And then come to that spot right in the center where you feel like the weight is very even in the middle. And now let's let the weight shift forward. So we're letting the weight shift into the balls of our feet, but our heels stay on the floor. And then let's let the weight shift into the heels and then towards the front of the foot. And as you're doing it, try and keep your knees nice and relaxed, thighs relaxed, as if you're being blown by the wind forward and back. Good, so we're not lifting up and down, we're just moving forward and back. Good, and then back to the center. Good, so finding that spot where you feel really solid in your feet. And now let's rise up onto the balls of the feet. So lift the heels up off the ground and then bring them back down. Lift them up and down. So this one, when you're coming up onto the balls of the feet, make sure the feet don't roll out. And a really clever trick to stop you from rolling the feet out, keep going, is if you have a little tennis ball and you pop the tennis ball just underneath the ankle joint, and then you rise up onto the balls of the feet and down. And you want to keep the knees sort of lined up with the front of the feet. So if you feel like your feet roll out a lot, or you wear the outside of your shoes a lot, this is a really good trick. Give it a go there, Maureen. I think people who have dogs might have tennis balls around the house. Although mine is not interested at all. Good. So try that a few more times. Lovely. And then if you want, either keeping the heels down or keep going with your calf raise. Let's raise the arms up and then just float them back down. Breathe out. So breathe in to lift, breathe out to lower. Good. And reach. And then let's reach a little bit higher each time. So reaching up towards the ceiling and down. So thumbs point up. Good morning, Pat. Got to say hello. Good. Last one. Lovely. And last one, hold it there. So if you've got the ball there, just pop it away, walk the feet out. And now if you need to have a chair, just bring it around to the side so that you can hold on to the chair. We're just going to warm up into the ankles, but it'll be a bit of a challenge for your balance as well. So a couple of options, you just have your hand on the chair. Other option is you might pop your hands on your hip. We're going to reach the leg out in front and then just start to rotate at the ankle. So it's a great opportunity to get into a bit of balance work straight away and see how our balance is. Morning, Marilyn. Up there in the kitchen. And then let's rotate back the other way. How's the balance today? Not bad? Could be better. Okay, and stop, walk the feet out. Now we'll see what it feels like on the other side. So same thing, you just swap the chair over to the other side, extend the leg out, and then Try and make some big circles with the ankle and keep the knee nice and soft. And the leg that we're standing on, that foot, make sure the toes aren't all scrunched up. Try and keep them spread. And let's go back the other way. It's a bit of a trick as well because we're working on the strength of our hip flexor. Great, nice work. And then bring the foot down and then just start to warm up into the shins. So lifting the toes up towards the knees. And then with the arms, let's let the arms swing. So we want the thumbs pointing up, reaching the arms forward and back. Good. And let's keep the hips facing forward. What you can do here is just do a very slight rotation in the upper body. As the arm swings forward, we kind of look to that opposite side. So forward and back, doing the same thing with the arms. So a little bit of a rotation, but from the middle of the back upwards. Hips stay pretty still. Looks great. Loosen up the shoulders. Lovely. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. And then bring the arms down, give them a little shake out. Nice work. Let's walk the feet out, warm up into the side of the hips. Let's just do some side stepping. So stepping to one side, feet to go together, step to the other side. And the arms, will keep them nice and simple. Let's just bring the hands towards the shoulders. Good. So the elbows staying nice and close to the body. Good. And now we're bringing the feet together here, but let's start to bring one foot in front of the other. So tapping in front. And this way we warm up a little bit into the inner thigh muscles, but we've also got a bit of a challenge for our balance. Good. And now let's do the same thing, but tap the feet behind. So behind. Just keep the same arms going so we don't complicate things. Good. So tap behind, tap behind. Good. And now let's bring the hands onto the hips. Let's go back to stepping together. And this time we're going to do a side leg lift. So when you step to one side, you're just going to lift the opposite leg. So step and lift. And your toes are facing forward. Good. And now the arms will go with the legs. So as you lift the leg, lift the arms go out to the side. Good. Busy watching everyone. Looks great. Breathe out. Does everybody feel their hips getting a little bit of work? Nice. Good. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now to give our little hips a break, let's bring the heels out in front, just a toe tap or a heel tap, sorry. And with the arms, we'll press the arms forward. We'll do that 4 times in front and then 4 times up. So you just count how many you're doing. If it doesn't feel right for your shoulders pressing above the head, you might just want to try and angle up a tiny bit. Push up. How's the coordination there, everyone? Tam, is it okay? You can see me looking at you. Hey, you've got your own style. That's perfect. There's no exam at the end of it. That's the good thing. All right, let's bring the arms down. So instead of a heel tap, let's start to lift the knee. So our body should be feeling pretty warm now. And then if you want, just bring the hand across, tap the opposite thigh. And then you decide how fast you want to do this. So you might want to move a little bit faster than me or a little bit slower. Good. Lovely. Nice. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, and 4. and walk it out. Well done. Well done, everybody. Give the shoulders a little roll. Let's reach the arms up. Take a big breath in and then open the arms out and down. Breathe out. Good. And again, breathe in and out. Now you can keep doing that one if you want, or let's try and bring the elbows in towards each other. We reach the arms up as high as we comfortably can with the elbows close to each other. Then we open the elbows out and then bring the arms down. So we get a nice stretch for the upper back and the chest. So elbows close towards each other. Lift as high as you comfortably can. Open the chest and down. Nice. One more time. Reach up and open and down. Well done. Give it a little shake out. All right. So I think what we might do now is focus on our lower body strengths before we move into some of the upper body exercises. So let's grab our chair. And we'll do 30 seconds of sit to stand. So if you want, if you've got a little cushion there, you can, or a ball, you can pop the ball between the knees. And what it does here is it's going to help us work the inner thigh muscles, but it'll also stop us from bringing the knees to touch as we stand up. So something there that you can hold on to, and whatever you've got between the knees, make sure that you've still got that nice alignment of the hip joint, the knee, and the middle of your shoe. So just being careful not to have the feet out here too wide, or we don't want to have the feet all the way together. All good there, Margaret? Excellent. And the cushion or the ball, that's an option. So if you don't have one, it's all good. So let's just practice that 4 times at your own pace, coming up to standing. Remember, you can have the hands on the shoulders. You might just want to have the arms by your side and use them to help you stand up and then to sit back down. Up to you. Let's just go through the movement, see how our knees are feeling. Good. And one more time. Lovely. And come back down. Good. Looks perfect. So what we're going to focus on as well is our transverse abdominis muscle. It's a belt of muscle that wraps around our torso. So as we're coming up to standing, we're going to breathe out, and I want you to imagine pulling that belt in nice and tight. So your navel pulls in towards your spine. That way, when we come up to standing, we've got a lot of control coming from our abdominal muscles, as well as our legs and our buttocks. And also we're keeping that control as we sit down. All right, so let's go in about 5 seconds. Choose your arm position, ready, set, and go. And just count how many you're doing. Breathing out. So remember, as you breathe out, pull the navel in. Good, nice and controlled. Squeeze whatever you've got between the knees so that you feel those inner thigh muscles working. Lovely. Got about 10 seconds to go. Lovely. And stop. Well done. Take the ball away. Shake the legs out a little bit. Might want to do a little heel tap in front if the knees are a little bit tight. Good. So just a show of hands. Who did more than 10? Who did 9? More than 10? What's that one, Karen? It looks like a Star Trek. You know, what is it? What do they do? 10. Who did 11? Nice. 12. Excellent. Nice work. So anywhere between the 9 and 12 is what we're aiming for. If you're doing a bit more than that, well, then that's pretty powerful. But we just want to make sure that we can maintain that. So let's just relax the legs a little bit and we'll give that one more try. Our goal this time is we're going to try and do one more repetition in those 30 seconds. All right. Yes, it does depend on the chair. Yeah, no, I should have mentioned that. If you've got a rolling chair, if you can put the brakes on it, that's a good thing. I don't want to see anyone disappear. So, oops, where did she go? All right, let's go in 5 seconds. Ready, set, go. So breathing out, lift and down. So we're going that a little bit faster if we can, just to get that extra one in. Breathe out and in. Nice work, keep going. Good job, Maureen. Go, Jan. Ali. Go, Maureen and Gary, in harmony. I love it because you two are so competitive. That's why. 5 seconds. And stop. Well done. Come back to seated. Same thing. Let's just do a little heel tap. Show of hands. Who managed to do one more? Jan? Same? Well, you didn't count. Margaret, how did you go? Excellent. Well done. Maureen? 10, 14? Many times. 15? Oh my goodness. Well done. Well done. All right. Let's grab a little bit of water if you need to have a drink, and then we'll take our weights. Let's do some work. Weights or cans or bottles of water. I know some of the people doing Strength for Life in other states, they were filling up water bottles full of sand. And that's not a bad idea. Just to make it a little bit heavier. Right. Good. All right, so let's start by doing a little bit of work for our shoulders. This one, the easier version or the level 1 version is with the elbows bent. And we'd be lifting the arms out to the side, just tipping the thumbs down towards the ground and back. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you'll straighten the arms and then bring the arms out by your side. But you really want to make sure that you're not using the muscles across the top of the shoulder. So I'll leave it up to you. I'll do the easy version. You can follow me or you can do it whatever way you want. So let's breathe out as you lift. Breathe in as you lower. I want you to think about using the muscle just along the middle of the shoulder. We'll try not to use the neck or the trapezius muscle in the upper back. Good. Breathing out. I think we've done about half a dozen. We're going to see if we can do another 6 like that. Most of these exercises, you need to be able to do at least 12. And if you can't, the weight might be too heavy. We've got to go back a bit. If you feel like you could do a whole lot more, we need to find ways to make it just that little bit more challenging. So that's where you might bring the arms down nice and long. Good. Let's do one more. Lovely. And down. And now let's straighten the arms. So this time we'll work the muscles in the front of the shoulder. We're going to lift the weight up so that it comes up no higher than shoulder height. And then we lower the weight back down again. And then we lift the other arm and down. So you can do it with the feet together, or you might decide to stagger the feet. So we're challenging our balance a little bit. Or you might even want to do it in your tandem stance where you've got one foot in front. Or if you're really clever, lift one foot off the ground, do halfway and then change legs. So lots of options. Just make sure you feel stable at the same time. Okay, off we go. So breathing out, lift. Let's do 12 alternating. Breathe out and in. Good. So while you're doing this, think about pulling your shoulder blades very gently down towards your hips. So as we lift the arm, we're trying not to lift the shoulder. the weight gets a bit too heavy there, Pat, you just put the weight down and keep going with the arm. Because, for example, if we do 12 repetitions and you get to 8 and then you need to put the weights down, next time you do it, you can challenge it again. My screen is frozen a bit, but I think everybody's still going. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Good. And then relax the shoulders. Now, the last one for the shoulders, you turn the palms forward. I'll show you the movement from the side. We're going to breathe out and bring the arms back. And when you do that, think about the muscles in the back of the shoulder and between the shoulder blades. Then we bring the arms forward again. So we breathe out, press back and in. So it gives you a nice stretch in the chest, front of the shoulders. Good. Jan, you turn your palms towards me. Yeah, there we go. Open. Because you can see if we turn the palms in, what ends up happening is we start to round out the shoulders. We want to open the chest. Good. Breathe out and in. Keep going. So remember, as you bring the arms back, think about pulling your belly button in. So we use our abdominals and not just the muscles in our back. Good. Squeeze and hold for a second and then back. Good. Good morning, Donna. Hold for a second and back. Breathe out. So we're not bending the elbows, we're just moving from the shoulders. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Great. And down. Roll the shoulders. Lovely. Let's take the weights, just pop them on the ground or on the chair. Give them a shake. Now let's stretch all the muscles that we just worked. So the first one, we'll bring our hands behind us and just open the chest, lift the top of the chest. Good. And then release the arms. Turn the palms forward and bring the arms back. We'll stretch the front of the shoulder. And then sweep the arms forward, lace the fingers, and let's stretch the upper back. And you might want to just bring your chin down towards your chest, and then you can stretch the back of the neck as well. Good. And then relax the arms. Nice work. Okay, let's come back down to work for our lower body. We'll do some exercises to strengthen the back of the thighs and the buttocks. And you can either use the chair or not. If you use the chair, you'll have your fingertips on the chair. If not, the hands are on the hips. We're going to extend the leg back. And all I want you to think about is tightening the muscle in the buttock. And then you bring the leg in. And if you can, kick your foot just a little bit off the floor. So we're not putting all the weight onto that foot. So we breathe out and extend the leg back. So with this one, remember your shoulders are over your hips. So we want our body up nice and tall, and we're just moving the leg. Let's all bring the leg back, hold it there for a second, and tighten the muscle in the bottom. Does everybody feel it? Yeah, and then bring it back in. So let's breathe out and push. Good. And your upper body, if you can see yourself in your computer or whatever you're watching on, make sure that your upper body is not moving. We're just moving the leg. And if you feel it in your back, often it's because we're lifting the leg too high. So you just want to do a nice smooth movement, tighten the bottom, and keep that other knee soft. Lovely. Let's do one more. Breathe out. Good. And then walk the feet out. Nice work. And now let's change legs. So same thing on the other side. Your standing leg, the knee's nice and soft. Let's breathe out, extend the leg, breathe in and come back. So breathing out, extend. And you'll probably notice that the toes turn out just a little bit when you bring the leg back. We want to breathe out, pull the navel in. And you don't want to feel like you're arching your lower back at all. Looks good. Nice long breath out as you extend the leg. Breathe in as you come back. Keep going. Lovely. Remember, we want to tighten up our corset so that we protect our back and we stand up nice and tall. Good. Breathing out. Push. Good work, Fred. Keep going. Go, Fate. Let's do 2 more. Breathe out, press, and last one. And come back in. Good. Walk the legs out. So just keep the legs walking. That exercise that we did is to really try and maintain the size of our buttock muscle, because that muscle helps us walk. Walkers keep our pace up. Lots of power in that muscle. And as we get older, sometimes it just gets smaller and smaller. And then we start to lose some stability in our hips. So everything we're doing is to try and keep our body moving as well as we want it to for as long as we can. So that was great. We might need to do a little bit of a stretch for our bottom. So bring your hands onto your chair, or you can even have your hands on your thighs, and you lean forward from your hips. So if you have a look at my back, I'm trying to keep my back nice and long as well. So be careful. We don't want to round out the upper back too much. And you're bringing your back down so that it's nearly parallel with the floor. And then see if you can straighten the legs a tiny bit, just a tiny bit. Stay there, Verna. Yep, once you found the right spot and you feel a stretch in your body and the back a little bit. And then bend your knees a little bit and then push yourself back up to standing. Good, walk it out, lovely. So the way we did that stretch just then, I was talking to one of the other participants last week, and she was saying that she was feeling like she was bending a lot from her waist to be able to grab things on the ground. We're more at risk when we move from our waist than when we move from our hips. So if you need to pick up something, be really mindful of moving from your hips, as if we're about to do that sit to stand. We sit down, we pick it up, we stand up, as opposed to leaning forward from your waist. Yep. All right, now we're nearly finished. Let's come take a seat, everybody, and we'll do a little bit of work for our abdominals. If you've got your weights close by, just grab one of them. And we're going to sit a little bit closer to the front of the chair. So this one is to work our oblique muscles, and one of their functions is to tilt our body laterally from side to side. Does anyone feel any discomfort doing that? Like if you're trying to bring your ribs towards your hips on one side. See, I'm not leaning over, I'm just trying to get my ribs to tilt. Back to the center, ribs to tilt. Yep. So what we'll do is we place the weight in one hand, just let the arm go nice and long. And what I'm going to do on the other side is I'm trying to get my ribs to move towards my hips. And then I come back to the center. So we breathe out as we move the ribs towards the hips and back to center. And what you should feel on this side is there's some muscles getting a stretch. Right? So imagine there's something on the ground there. We're trying to reach down and grab it sideways. Like if we're in the car and there was something under the seat, and then come back to the center. Now let's do that again. So breathe out as you move to the side. Breathe in as you come back. So it's not a big movement there, Verna. You just want to do a really small ribs towards the hips. So my hips are not moving, just my rib cage. So we're trying to close that space. Yep. So the bottom on this side is glued into the seat. If you feel like your bottom start to lift, you want to try and press the sit bone down. Good, nice work. Let's just do a couple more. Breathe out. Breathe in. Last one. Good, and then back to the center. Okay, so if you're practicing it on your own, you're always, whatever side we're working, we're holding the weight in the other hand. because if I had the weight in this hand, it's just going to be easy for me to lean to the side. So you might want to have something a little bit heavier, like a bag of food, you know, and do the other one. Okay, let's try the other side. So sitting up really tall, remember it's ribs towards the hips. Hang on, is that it? Breathing out and breathing in. Good. And remember with the breathing, we were trying to pull the navel in towards the spine. So keep thinking about that as you lean to the side. We breathe out. We breathe in. So we're feeling our ribs move closer to our hips. And the other side of our spine, the muscles are getting a stretch. Shouldn't feel uncomfortable at all. If it does, you might want to stop because maybe that's not the exercise for you. So if it's the first time you've done this exercise, it's a little bit weird when you start. Just remember, it's not a big muscle. It's not a big movement. You want to use your breath to help you do it. Good. One more. Lovely. Nice work. Back to the center. Just bring the weight down. And then to stretch out, we're going to lift the elbow up. We're just going to lean to the other side. And then you decide how far you can reach the arm across. Good. So now we're bringing the ribs away from the hips. And then back to the center. Good. So come up with a bent elbow first. Lean with the bent elbow and then just see how far you can comfortably go. Should feel a nice stretch there. Looks great. Back to the center. Good. Relax the shoulders. And now we'll practice the one we've been doing every session where we're hinging from the hip, leaning back. If you want to try adding a little bit of extra load, you could hold a weight in front of your chest. So you can keep your elbows in and then we do exactly the same movement. So it doesn't have to be, we don't want it to be a heavy weight because it's really important to have the good technique for this one. But I'll leave it up to you with or without the weight. And the weight is going to sit right in front of your collarbone, chest, top of the chest, elbows tuck in. So let's keep our feet parallel, lift up really tall, breathe in. And then as you breathe out, pull your belly button in towards your spine and start to move your shoulders, hinging from the hips towards the chair. Then we breathe in and lift tall as we come back to the center. Then we breathe out. And breathe in. So when you go back, I want you to see how long you can do that breath out for. Breathing out, breathing out. Long, 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 long breath out. And then breathe in, come forward. So when we come forward, it takes a little bit less time than when we move back. Keep going. Good. That's nice, Jan. Just keep your weight nice and close to your body. Yep, keep it nice and close. Good. Breathing out. So when you go back, if you feel like your belly is starting to pop out, think about that navel pulling in towards the spine. You want that muscle to be working as we move back. Because if it doesn't, our lower back takes a lot of the work. All good there, Gary? Yeah? Any questions, you let me know. Lovely. Let's do a couple more. Breathing out, breathing out, breathing out. Nice work, Margaret. And back in. Last one. Keep the chin tucked in a little bit there. There we go. And back. Nice work. Well done, everyone. Let's bring the weight down. And now just to take a little bit of the tension away from the back, let's bring the hands on the thighs and lean forward from the hips. Remember, if you're quite flexible in your spine and you're comfortable to do it, you might just want to lay your upper body on your thighs and drop the head and drop the arms. Just be careful though if you've got any issues with your lower back. Stay there, have a good stretch. Good, and then come back to the center. Well done, everyone. Good job. So let's come into some stretches. The first one we'll do is, we haven't done this one before, I don't think. Our feet are out a little bit wider. And the idea here is we want to stretch the inner thigh muscles. So you lean forward from your hips. Your feet are out as wide as you comfortably can get them. And you bring your elbows onto the inside of your thighs and you bring your hands together. And you use your elbows to press the legs apart. So you want to feel a stretch right up into the groin area. Looks like we're praying that the class will be over soon. Everyone feel a little bit of a stretch there? Yeah. Good. And then bring one hand onto a thigh, other hand up, come up to seated, walk the feet in, and let's come into our hamstring stretch. So reach one leg out in front, toes curl towards us, so we get a stretch in our calf as well. And remember, we're going to move from our hips. So hinge from the hip as you move forward. Hands will go on to both thighs. One leg is straight and the other knee is bent. Just move back a little bit so you can see. So if we looked at what you were doing side on, the back would be in a nice long line. Good. And then come back up. Foot goes down. Extend the other leg across. Lean forward from the hip. Good. So one leg out, nice and straight there. Fred, yep. And come back up. Good. And now let's just rotate our torso to one side. Keep the hips facing forward. Bring your opposite hand across. And then the other hand will just let it hang or hold on to your chair. Breathe in and lift tall. As you breathe out, let's rotate and turn to that side. Just getting a nice stretch around the mid to upper back. And then a breath in to come back to the center. Let's breathe out and rotate to the other side. And then come back to the center. Hands go on the thighs. Give the shoulders a little roll. Let's bring the chin down slightly and then tilt the head to one side. Now just let your shoulders and your arms go really heavy. Just be careful with this one too, that we don't start to lean to that side. It's just the head moving. Just to where it feels like you're getting a comfortable stretch in the side of the neck. Breathe in, bring the head back to the center. Breathe out, tilt the head to the other side. See lots of fingers there, Donna. And now let's just roll the head forward. We're sitting up nice and tall, but the chin is dropping towards the chest. I want you to feel the stretch from the base of the skull down the neck and across the top of the shoulders. So imagine that someone has their hands on your shoulders and is very gently pressing the shoulders down. Take your time. And then lift the head. Let's take a breath in, reach the arms up. Breathe out, open the arms out to the side and down. Good. One more time. Breath in. And out and down. Lovely. Give everything a little bit of a shake out. Well done, everybody. We did a bigger session this morning. I hope that fit in with your schedules.